Hi, good morning and welcome to County Executive Pittman's virtual press conference. This morning, the County Executive will provide an announcement regarding the county's federal ARP funds, as well as some other updates. We'll take questions after. As a reminder, please put your name and media affiliation in the chat, and I'll call on folks for questions in that order. And please keep your microphone and camera off unless you're called on to ask a question. With that, Mr. County Executive.
All right, thanks, Jeff. Coming to you live from Baltimore City today. I'm between a meeting, learning about a reentry program that Baltimore does that we're interested in learning from, and then on my way up to Aberdeen for a land preservation conference. So I wanted to say something about COVID at the beginning. I know we've strayed from that as the primary topic of these briefings, and we started out specifically because of COVID doing weekly briefings, and you know, everybody's locally is feeling like we've mostly gotten through this, and our numbers look great. But as we look around the Southern Hemisphere, even as we look in this country, Missouri, where hospitals have higher numbers of COVID patients than they've had at any point, and those patients are younger because younger people tend to be unvaccinated, and the folks in the hospitals are unvaccinated. There's just no question. There's no question in my mind, and I don't think anybody's mind, about whether we're going to have a fall increase in COVID. We will have a fall surge, and the fall surge will be unvaccinated people. And I just can't stress enough how important it is that we not be one of those jurisdictions that doesn't have enough folks vaccinated. I think we've started to see a little bit of an increase already in the hospitals, and I don't want my kids to have to wear masks in school. That's a very controversial issue right now, is whether there will be masks in school and what school will look like. And if we want a COVID-free school year and the kind of freedoms that we're used to in the fall, people are going to have to get vaccinated. And I can't stress that enough. But Dr. Kalyana will talk more about that as we get into this. I also want to note that, you know, it's a great thing that we have federal money coming our way, $112 million. We've got half of it. The other half will come next year. We've got a few years to spend it, which is fantastic. And we feel strongly that we not only need to comply with the federal guidelines and the Treasury's final version of the guidance for spending of the ARPA money, American Rescue Plan Act, will be out in the middle of this month, but we want to hear from residents about what those priorities should be. We clearly want it to be spent for economic opportunity for all coming out of the pandemic, and for health and wellness and everything health related, to protect us from the next pandemic and make sure we get through this one. But we are launching today a portal for a survey for residents to let us know their priorities, and we will be using that as we put our plan together for the use of that money. There will actually be an application portal as well. We expect to be using some of that money in non-government organizations, in nonprofits particularly, to carry out some of the priorities that our residents express. So please share the link to that survey. It's significant money, and it really can build back this economy in a way where we support the folks at the foundation of the economy and make ourselves stronger for the future. Some great news that I'm extremely proud of, which is that the Maryland Association of Counties, they give out two major awards every year, one for smaller rural jurisdictions and one for the larger urban jurisdictions, more in Central Maryland. And Arundel County will receive in August the Innovation Award, the County Innovation Award. And we're receiving that award for the work in our health department of our Office of Health, Equity, and Racial Justice. You'll remember that we identified racism as a public health issue last year, and the work of that office during COVID and the work that it's doing now is to address the social determinants of health and the racial disparities in health outcomes. is leading the state, and MACO is recognizing that. So I think Dr. Kalyana may have some more to say about that, that award as well. And then finally, well, not finally, but I want to make people aware of the coming together of some leaders in this community to support folks in communities that have been left behind with services, where we have had shootings, both in Annapolis and Severn area and others in the county, to engage young people in recreational activities, educational activities. And this is big because it's being led by, well, a guy named Kyle Williams, who can speak in just a minute, is the CEO of Tunnel Vision, which is a for-profit company that does athletic apparel, started a nonprofit and an initiative called Chase Your Dreams. And I've just been thrilled. Last night we had a sort of fundraising Zoom-a-thon, I guess you could call it, that I was on to raise money. It's going to be funding a lot of our local nonprofits, and they're bringing in an all-star lineup of Steven Jackson, NBA, Patrick Robinson, and others to do some activities that are really going to, I think, draw people out and get people involved. So if I could have Kyle say a few words about the activities that are coming up next week on that, that would be great.
Yes, good morning, everyone, and thank you, County Executive Stuart Pittman, for introducing me. Again, my name is Kyle Williams. I am the CEO of Tunnel Vision and also the founder of the Chase Your Dreams Initiative, which is a 501c3 nonprofit. And coming up next week, we're having a great event. It's going to be impactful. It's going to take place in between July 22nd and July 24th. So it is going to be a 3-day event, and it's called the Social Justice Select Charity Weekend. And the purpose of this event is to unite all people through sports in a festive way to be able to support some great causes, right? So from the proceeds from all of these events, we're going to be donating money back to 10 to 12 nonprofits that we've identified in Anne Arundel County. We're doing great work in our community and really helping out our youth and also our underserved portions of the community as well. So what we'll be doing is actually on Thursday, we're going to kick it off with a yacht dinner cruise that's going to take place down on Annapolis City Dock, where we're going to invite in our celebrities and NBA players into a great county of Anne Arundel County and introduce and kind of, network and shake hands and so forth. And then we'll go into our Friday day, which will be at Annapolis Boys and Girls Club, which we're going to have a free basketball clinic by some NBA players that's going to be afforded the opportunity to the kids. We have the great Thomas L. Brown, who everybody knows is a great artist here with us at Tunnel Vision, who's going to be hosting an art clinic for the kids there as well. And then we have Truist, who is our title sponsor, Truist Bank, who's going to host a financial literacy piece there as well with some guest speakers, some business owners in and throughout Anne Arundel County to kind of inform the community and just continue to educate. And then Saturday, we're actually providing a platform for our police and firefighters from Anne Arundel County. We're still playing our preliminary basketball game at Annapolis High School from 4 to 6 p.m. And then at 6 p.m. sharp, you'll see Rudy Gay from the San Antonio Spurs. You'll see former NBA champion Steven Jackson, Lance Stevenson from the Los Angeles Lakers. We have young Dylan, who's an Annapolis native here in Anne Arundel County, who has a Nickelodeon show, and a plethora of other high-profile individuals who are going to come in and help us raise money with these causes and have fun. And then we appreciate the county so much for partnering with us on this event. I know we're still having COVID-19 trials and tribulations that we're trying to overcome. And through this event, we're going to partner with the county to set up vaccination clinics at all of our events to help promote getting our younger crowd vaccinated, and also keeping that in the forefront of what we're doing as our fight is not over yet with COVID-19. So I appreciate everybody for providing us with a platform to let everybody know what we're doing. I encourage everybody in the county, please come on out, be a part of this great 3-day weekend, and everything is going towards charity. So we need you guys, and any information that you needed on the event, you can find us on the Eventbrite, or you can check us out on our website at www.thetunnelvision.com. And I appreciate you guys.
All right, thank you, Kyle. And yeah, the county is really honored to be part of that and support it as well. So Another piece of good news is that our senior centers, which have been operating at partial capacity with restrictions, are going to be fully open July 19th, which is Monday. And that will include all the food and nutrition programs and everything people are used to, open from 8 to 4, all 8:30 to 4, all 7 senior centers in the county. And the seniors have a very high rate of vaccination, and it's about time that we gave them the full services that they need and deserve in our county. So that's something I feel great about. And then Plan 2040, we've mentioned this before, the deadline for people to sign up to be on one of our stakeholder advisory committee, first 3 region plans, is coming up July 18th. And we want to ensure that we have not only a large pool of applicants to draw from for those seats, but a diverse pool of applicants. So we need to get that diversity and that pool filled July 18th. We will extend the deadline if it's if the numbers don't look like what we need them to be, and we will do additional community outreach if necessary. But if we want land use decisions in the future to be made on behalf of all of our residents, we need diversity in these stakeholder advisory committees, because they're very important. And then finally, tomorrow evening, 6 o'clock, we are going to be at Greenhaven Wharf, which is a kayak launch and a fishing dock that we are rebuilding. And it's at Stony Creek off of the Patapsco River to provide public water access. And we will be there to talk about that, but also other things in the budget, particularly for that district. We'll have Delegate Nipkipke with us, and who helped get some bond money, state bond money for the project. And that'll be the first in a series. We've been rained out of we call them our budget barn storming tours, but the word storm seems to have gotten in our way. And there's a storm every time we schedule one. So this is the 3rd effort, and we're hoping for good weather and to see some of you out there at that to talk about what's in the budget. So now over to you, Dr. Kalyana-Raman.
Thank you, County Executive. I'll start with our data on COVID. We've had a really good stretch of low levels of hospitalizations and case rates, but we're seeing our hospitalizations starting to tick up, particularly in younger age groups. We have it's coming back up now. It's about 10 people hospitalized. In conversations with our hospitals, Anne Arundel Medical Center and Baltimore Washington Medical Center, while they're certainly able to care for the people who are coming in, they too are just as concerned as we are about preventing COVID and making sure that people don't get sick to begin with. We're seeing our case rate going up. It's up to 1.7 now, and that's true in the state as well as in the county. And I think critically, part of that is because our vaccinations have been slow, and it's been that way for a few weeks. We're kind of stuck at around 75% of adults being vaccinated. We're continuing to push on that. But I think it's really important to note that 90% of the cases in the state, or over 90%, are people who are not vaccinated. Last month, the state announced that every single person who died from COVID was unvaccinated. We're seeing the Delta variant is growing, and I've been talking about this week on week. It's over 40% of the cases statewide now, and that is going to continue to grow. And that's actually what's driving the increasing cases that are happening. It's happening in younger populations. Nearly half of the cases are happening in people under the age of 30. And because the Delta variant is both spreads faster and is more severe, we're seeing more people who are younger getting hospitalized. So it's important to remember that if you're vaccinated, you're in great shape. The vaccines are really effective against the Delta variant. That's why the CDC and FDA announced last week that there's no need for boosters at this time. But on the flip side, if you're not vaccinated, you're really at risk. And because Delta variant is worse, it's important to get your shot now to avoid getting sick, having the long COVID symptoms that are happening at about 25% of people getting hospitalized or even dying. And it's part of the personal responsibility of protecting yourselves and others, but it's really important to do that. Also want to touch on the Mako County Innovation Award. Really proud to have work of our department, and particularly our Office of Health Equity and Racial Justice, highlighted. I think it's been a real testament to the work that we've put in to really dig into health disparities, identifying racial, ethnic, geographic, socioeconomic disparities in health measures, and then most importantly, working with local organizations and impacted communities to identify solutions. So one example was our work with 14 different community organizations to do rental and utility assistance to those communities that were hardest hit, by working through those organizations to identify people in their communities, distributing care packages, hygiene products. That's been just a real shining example of the work the Health Equity and Racial Justice Office has been doing. And so really thankful to the county executive for his support and to Mako for this recognition. And with that, I will turn it over to you, Jeff.
All right, as noted before, put your name and media affiliation in the chat if you'd like to ask a question, and I will call on folks in that order. Ada Romano, the Capitol.
Hi, good morning. I was just wondering about the Vaccine Business Incentive Program, if we have an update on what kind of businesses are registering and how many businesses have registered so far.
Dr. Kalyanaraman.
Yep. Sorry about that. Yeah, so we have a range of businesses that have participated, a few barbershops, a health and fitness club, and we are, I can get you numbers later after this call on how many have signed up, but I think we've gotten interest from about 15 and we're signing up about 8 or 9 of them. But let me get you those numbers after this call.
Okay, thank you. And one more question just about the go-to orders for liquor from restaurants. Is that something that's going to be extended in the county? And is that something that's up to the liquor board or will it be brought to the council?
It's up to the liquor board, and I've expressed support for doing it.
Okay, thank you.
All right, again, name and media affiliation in the chat if you've got a question. All right, seeing none, we'll wrap up. Thank you and have a great week.